Tossing you over now to Claudine for this morning's sports news rundown and the latest weather report.
Let's get another Pacquiao-Mayweather post-fight analysis right from Las Vegas. We now have Ryan Songalia of the Boxing Writers Association of America. He's also a staff reporter for Ring Magazine. Ryan, nice to have you back in the program.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Ryan, okay, a lot of disappointed fans over here. Please shed some light. What exactly went wrong for Pacquiao?
Well, he had an opponent in Mayweather who was very intelligent, and Mayweather kept drawing him into counter-punch opportunities. Pacquiao couldn't be as aggressive as he had wanted to be because, the check left hooks, the counter right hands, but also Manny entered the fight with a right shoulder tear. It was an aggravated injury that it was an old injury from 2009 that he had sustained in a jet ski accident, actually that was aggravated during training camp and sparring. So he went in there one-handed. He said he felt that he was only 60%, but that sometimes you only get one chance at a fight, and he doesn't believe that there will be a rematch.
Okay, Ryan, help us both get through this in our heads, because from watching it from a television, at least for us over here, it seemed like Pacquiao was throwing the most punches. But when you look at the scorecard, I'm going to look at the stats right now. Pacquiao had 429 punches, Mayweather had 435. Pacquiao did 193 jabs, Mayweather did 267. Why did it look from our point of view like Pacquiao was throwing all the fights, when from the judges' point of view, it was actually Mayweather?
Well, CompuBox is an inexact science. The way they do it is they have a couple of people who are scoring it, pushing a button, and then they pull the answers together. It'll be like an aggregate score of how many people or how many punches the 6 people feel that they were landed and connected. But they don't really tell the full story of a fight. Pacquiao was coming forward. Whether his aggression was effective aggression, as is needed to be scored, that's up to interpretation. There are some people who felt that Pacquiao deserved the win, like Shane Mosley, but and also one reporter that I spoke to there. But for the most part, the consensus thought is that Mayweather deserved the victory.
Is this why he's actually undefeated? Because he's more of a defensive fighter, Mayweather? I mean, it looked like he was just waiting for the right shot to get one in there, and he gets it really good. And is that why he's undefeated?
Yes. Mayweather is not a Mike Tyson. He's not a Manny Pacquiao in that he's a feared just monster who knocks people out. He doesn't care if he has to win it ugly or if it's a sensational victory. A win is a win for him. Maybe there are some casual fans, some newcomers to boxing, who may be disappointed in the way that the fight looked, but they probably haven't seen what Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s fights look like. That's what they look like. That's why it took him so long to become an attraction, a real box office draw. But later in his career, I think people are watching more because they want to see what will happen if somebody can beat him. That's the allure of a Floyd Mayweather Jr. fight. Not so much in that he's so entertaining.
Okay, we're kind of losing you there, but you can hear me clearly, Ryan, still? Okay, I hope. Ryan, can you hear me right now?
I can hear you now, yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, what's the overall
I can hear.
What's the overall consensus over in Vegas? I mean, obviously here everybody loves Manny, so everyone thinks that he won. But over there in Las Vegas, are people believing that Manny really lost?
Yeah, I couldn't find too many people who thought that Manny won the fight. I only found one reporter that I had spoken with that thought that Manny's aggression, and also I had overheard that Shane Mosley, who fought both men, felt that Pacquiao's aggression should have earned him the victory. But for the most part, people feel that Mayweather outboxed Pacquiao and deserved the victory.
Okay, well, you know boxing in and out. You don't think that this is a strategy of the boxing industry to get another rematch and eventually make more money from this fight? You really think that Pacquiao lost fair and square?
I don't feel that there is a need for a rematch because the fight really wasn't that entertaining. I don't think the public would want to see it again. I personally, if Pacquiao cannot be motivated for another fight, that if he doesn't get the Mayweather rematch, because Mayweather is saying that he will have one last fight in September. Right. Pacquiao will need 2 to 3 months to heal his shoulder injuries. So he wouldn't even be ready for a September fight. So I think that's out of the picture. If a Mayweather rematch doesn't happen, I think he should just have one last fight in the Philippines and retire.
I agree. Ryan, okay, another thing. A lot of people were also saying that Pacquiao, that boxing is pretty much dead after this whole match. Do you believe this?
No, people are. Boxing is so dead that people are buying tickets to weigh-ins now. This is going to open up, boxing for a lot of people because more people who got to see what boxing was about. They got to see one guy coming forward, one guy boxing. It's not just all about a rumble, a brawl. I don't feel that the fight really turns people off about the way the sport is. I think that we're going to see future stars come up. I think that when Pacquiao and Mayweather are gone soon, that the next guy will come up, that people will turn to another guy who captivates their imaginations the way that Manny Pacquiao has. And that's why, for me, I hope that the Filipino fans look at the up-and-coming fighters that are in the Philippines and not just overlook them because maybe American audiences haven't caught on to them. The Philippines has a lot of great fighters. We have some of the best fighters of the lower weight divisions. Randy Patalcarin, Donny Nietes. These are guys that nobody even knows, but they're some of the best fighters in the world. So I hope that boxing, especially in the Philippines, continues because there will be other great champions after Manny Pacquiao.
We spoke to you a few days before this fight, and we were saying everyone excited for this. We were waiting 5 years for the fight of the century. Do you think it lived up to the expectations of all the boxing fans out there?
I don't think it was even possible for this fight to live up to the expectations because of how high they were. And they were really unrealistic. This was never going to be an action fight. It was always going to be a chess match, tit for tat, who's going to land the telling blows. It was always going to be this kind of a fight. Perhaps it would have been closer years past, but I think that people had unrealistic expectations because of the hype. Like for me, I was just interested to see who would win, and I think a lot of people thought that. But everyone who was saying, "Oh, this fight wasn't exciting; it didn't live up to the expectation." If you wanted to see a great fight, 2 weeks ago, Lucas Matisse and Ruslan Provodnikov fought on HBO, and that was a great fight, and everyone expected that to be.
Right.
Exactly. This was not going to be that fight.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you for answering all our questions. Thank you. That was Ryan Songalia of the Boxing Writers Association of America from Las Vegas.